All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow podcast. My name is Koko.
And my name is Xolani.
And all right. Hey, welcome to Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow. And today we are very excited to be speaking with our special guest. He is an entrepreneur. He's a mentor, business coach, and philanthropist. Since a teenager, he has been working to help build new businesses, create new jobs, mentor inner city youth, and push our community forward. For 10 years, he has adopted families for the holidays, provided clothing, food, and necessities for the homeless, given scholarships to students, and provided COVID-19 relief donations for families that have been greatly impacted. He's always had a passion for people, and he believes that we can be the catalyst to help push one another forward. He is now the owner and operator of Boost 360, a marketing and business development company that services small to medium-sized businesses nationally. The Gold Plate Catering Company, which is an upscale catering and events company, and At Your Care Home Services, which is a consumer-directed services healthcare company. He also owns Mentor STL, and he sits on the board of 4 different companies. When he isn't working or engaging in community events, he also enjoys time with his wife and 2 children, and that is the most important thing of all. Please welcome LeeAndre Ratliff. Yay! Our little makeshift clapping.
We're going to get those sound effects probably by the next episode. Right now is real.
How are you today, LeeAndre?
I am good. I appreciate you guys for bringing me on. I think this is a well-needed conversation. But I am good. I mean, I just came back from a quick turnaround trip from Chicago. So I'm here with you guys. I'm excited, and I'm ready to get this going. I'm ready to talk, answer some questions, have some fun.
That's what we all about, having some fun. We're going to get this kicked off, and hopefully we'll be able to learn some good information and really be able to take away some good pointers from you today. So I want to start at the beginning with you about how you came into everything that you're doing today. You stated that you were already helping people to build businesses and create jobs as a teenager. So what exactly did you do in the community as a young person, and how did that come about?
So, since I can remember, I have been the person that people have come to for everything that they need, So even as a teenager, I knew that I had a knack for people. I knew that I had a knack for all things business. I'm the type of person that if I can see it, if I can imagine it, conceptualize it, then I can make it happen, right? And a lot of people know that about me. So, when I was a teenager, I've worked with so many different people, just helping build small businesses, whether it's a restaurant, a cake shop, a mom and pop company, whatever the case may be. I've helped. I started LLR2 Enterprises, which is Boost 360, is now named Boost 360. I started that business back in 2010.
Okay.
So I started that right out of high school, probably a couple of years out of high school. And then I started working with people on a more professional level, right? Being able to provide different services at a cost, and knowing that I was providing a good service so that I can receive the money for it and know that I'm doing everything correctly. So that's how that business was birthed. From the time I was maybe about, I want to say 21, is when I kind of got more off into my mentorship and all of that good stuff. So that's kind of like how it came about. In the beginning, I worked for different corporations, helping to build their companies, helping to build their brands. Really helping to increase their bottom line. So I said, I can do the same thing for myself, number one, and then for companies in our community that's trying to grow, that's trying to build. So that's kind of how I got started with everything.
Okay. So how has that journey from when you were a teenager shaped you into who you are today?
Man, it has shaped me. Man, I'm telling you, I can't be more grateful. Right? Because if it wasn't for the people then entrusting me with their money, with their wealth of knowledge that they had about their business industry, with their company, period, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. It shaped me in a great way. I mean, it's helped me to realize my full potential.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, I was actually partnered with a marketing company.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't provide certain services. I knew how to provide them,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that they were more costly for my company to run these services. So I partnered with other companies. So I'm proud to say now, because I did the work in the beginning, I can say that I have a fully functioning marketing and business development company, not partnered with anyone, running things on my own, affording things myself. So it shaped me in a great way. I would not be where I am if it wasn't for my beginning.
Sounds good. So what would you say that, I know you said you started off as a teenager. Well, exactly how old were you at the time when you really, knew that this was something that you wanted to get into?
I was 18.
You were 18. Okay.
I was 18 years old.
Okay.
18.
Yeah. That's
18 years old.
perfect
Yeah.
age. Perfect age. So what would Dre, the CEO, tell little 18-year-old DeAndre, if you could go back in time and give, any advice, what would you tell little LeeAndre then?
Man, I would tell myself to be patient and stay the course. That's something that I tell a lot of people now. But looking back, that's what I would have told myself then, because I kind of bumped my head, a couple of times, and it's because I was trying to rush and do things. And sometimes you gotta do things with finesse. You gotta slow it down. You have to perfect your craft.
Yeah.
So I think in the beginning, I was just running wild, trying to do so much at one time. So I would say 100% slow down. I would say 100%, make sure that you are understanding, that you're able to conceptualize what it is you're trying to do. So yeah, that's the advice I would give myself. Absolutely.
Okay. So, and for any, beginning entrepreneurs, and there's a lot of people who, myself, I think of myself when I think of this question. There's so many things that I like to do and so many things that I consider myself, okay, you're good at this, you're good at that. And it can be easy to get caught up in, trying to do everything at once. What's advice that you would give to someone like that who wants to, they know they want to be an entrepreneur, but they have, all of these different ideas in their head? What would you tell them?
Do one thing, perfect one thing first.
Okay.
Perfect one thing first. That is the mistake that a lot of us make. We think we can do so many things, and we stretch ourselves so thin to where we're kind of losing it in a sense. We kind of lose our mind, because it's like, okay, I'm such a perfectionist. I know I can do this, this, and this, but I can't do everything well at one time. I have to perfect one thing first. And then once you go into your next venture, you'll be able to have the capital to hire people to help you.
Okay.
That is how entrepreneurship is born. You can't, a true entrepreneur, they know that they can't do it all on their own. They know that. So you do one thing first, you perfect it, you do it to your best ability, then you move forward.
So in other words, become a jack of all trades and a master at one first.
100%.
Okay.
That sounds exactly like me at 20 years old.
At 33.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, for real.
Well, pretty much anything
you and
I do.
Have talked.
Yeah.
Xolani, you and I have talked, so we know, you and I, we have the same type of ambition, So I agree with Koko.
Yeah. So, definitely what I had going on when I was 20, it was trying to start a lot of different things that wasn't supporting my main thing. So now it's like, if I do anything else, it supports the main objective. It supports what I want to do for the DJ production company versus, okay, I'm doing this and I'm doing that over there. And it kind of don't really got much to do with that. So that's definitely great pivotal advice for anyone looking to start something, or even trying to find out what it is they want to do or their why.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Absolutely.
So I want to shift a little bit, because you are probably you're a chef, and that's probably one of my favorite type of people, because I'm a foodie. I like to eat. Anybody that knows me knows that is no secret. I love food. I love cooking. It's a thing that calms me, puts me at peace. So I just like anything that has to do with food, whether it be tasting it, expanding my palate, all of that type of thing. So definitely interested in hearing about your culinary career. So when did
Yeah.
you first take an interest in culinary arts?
So I took an interest in culinary arts when I was a kid, when I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
I have a mind that's really full of different ideas and concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And I always felt like, okay, so a lot of people say, my mom is the best cook in my family, right? Now, my mom can throw down,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm the best cook in my family. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because a great cook, a good chef, they're good at many things. They're good at preparing many things, and they can take an idea and they can turn it into a masterpiece. And that's what I grew up doing. When I was when I was a teenager, that I kind of started perfecting my craft a little bit more. I knew that it would eventually move into something, but I didn't know that I would be on. I didn't know that I would own my own catering company. I didn't know that I would have people working for me. I didn't know that it would actually grow. Even though I'll say this, whatever I do it with the intention to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't, at that time, I didn't understand that could be done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, everybody keep asking me to cook this and cook that. Every time people come to my house, they put in their food requests. And I'm like, I'm gonna start charging people for these excellent meals I'm cooking, because when you go out and you buy fresh seafood, fresh beef, pork, whatever the case may be, that stuff costs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, where the money gonna come from? If I gotta keep paying for it, it kind of becomes a thing where it's like, I need to be charging you for it too.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2017,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, right? So in 2017, I said, I was talking to my wife, and I said, something greater is brewing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know exactly what it is, but I said, I really feel like this culinary thing is something that I can really do. I'm good at it. I'm self-taught, of course, but I'm like, I'm good at it. I can go up against I feel like any Michelin star chef.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really good at it. So I said, I think I'm gonna start a company. How do you feel about it? And she supported me 100%. That very same day, of course, me having the marketing and business development background, I started my business that same afternoon, sitting in my living room.
Hmm.
I created all of my content. I created my social media pages. I got on Google. I put my business on Google. I did everything, literally as much as I could do that same day.
Wow.
So it really just took a new, I was just shocked at the response that I had gotten. It literally, I was booked. As soon as I introduced the business everybody was coming out of the woodwork.
Wow.
Booking my services. I've catered weddings. I've catered large corporate events. I cater for hospitals. I cater for, Plaza Motors, all of their companies. I could do something small, or I could do something large and extravagant, and it's all going to hit the same way.
Wow. That's I'm getting hungry right now because like I said, I'm a foodie. So you never went to culinary art school or anything? Everything was just self-taught. Amazing.
Self-taught. So I took courses online and stuff like that to get certain certifications, but I never went and actually was taught how to cook in school or in a restaurant or anything. Just completely self-taught, with the exception of the online courses that I took.
Amazing.
Now, with your entrepreneur mindset, do you feel the need to go to school, like a traditional school in a sense,
to be an entrepreneur?
Well, for the culinary.
I think that if I wanted to go, well, I'll say this: whatever you do to be your 100% best, you got to have the proper education. So do I feel like I'm working at my 100% best? No, because there are some things that I definitely need to learn from a culinary arts institution.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in a sense, I do feel like, if you want to do it and you want to go all the way with it, if you want to own a restaurant and do all of these extravagant things, you absolutely need to go to culinary school. Anything that you do now, I will say this now, you can teach yourself or you can be taught, right? You can do either of the two. However, when you have structured education on something, normally you'll do better in the field. So if I wanted a restaurant, which I do not aspire to be a restaurant owner, I'm telling you, it's too much overhead.
That was gonna be my next question.
Too much overhead. I don't want all the overhead. I don't want to have to deal with, all the staffing issues and stuff like that comes along with having a restaurant. However, if I wanted to own a restaurant, I would absolutely go to a culinary school. I would need to at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the business side of everything, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what's your favorite type of cuisine that you like to cook and eat?
Ooh. So I've definitely expanded my palate over the course of the last few years, but I am still a macaroni and cheese guy. I love seafood mac and cheese.
Now you speak in our language, especially him. Mac and cheese, yeah.
Seafood mac and cheese.
Ooh, seafood mac and cheese. Oh yeah, yeah.
Seafood mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Now you just.
I might have to order a pan of that from you, and I'm sure my daughters will not have a problem with that. The seafood.
You need to. I'm telling you, it's the best. And I don't just say it's the best. The thing about me is that I travel, and then I've been to just about every restaurant in St. Louis. So I know that what I present, what I cook, I put my best into it. I use the best ingredients. You ain't gonna never catch anything frozen coming out of our kitchen.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So it's all about what you put into the food, right? Okay. So I know it's the best. It's bomb. I'm telling you, it's bomb.
I believe you. I actually, I saw you. I was in that. I'm in that quarantine cuisines group, and I saw you post something in there, and I was like, I didn't know he could cook. And I saw somebody comment yeah, I was gonna post something, but I didn't know y'all was gonna be putting stuff for real on there. I was like, yeah, that's profession now. I was like, I'm not gonna post nothing in that group. I'm just gonna put my stuff. It's like he's for real.
For real.
Yeah. All right.
But so I just feel like that's what he does.
What'd you say?
I just feel like that's what he does. If he's gonna do it, he's gonna be for real about it. Dre ain't no half-asser.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. I'm gonna put my all into it, and
that's how it should be.
I agree.
Exactly. Especially we talk about, because we've had this conversation, in the last couple of weeks about Black-owned businesses and things like that, and it's like, we quality first and customer service. First. Yeah.
Yes.
So besides the catering company, you also have some other businesses that you are owner and operator of. And the great thing about that is that they're all so different, yet each one is extraordinary in its own right. So can you give us a rundown of all of the other, I say all because this man does everything. Can you give us a rundown of all the other companies you have and how each one came about?
Yeah. So I actually have a total of 4 companies, right? The 3 that's in big operation now are, of course, the Gold Plate Catering, Boost 360. That's my baby. Boost 360. I started that company back in 2010 as LLR2 Enterprises. I rebranded the company in 2019. I've worked with international clients. I've worked with national clients all over the state. So that's my baby. What I do with that company, I provide marketing services to any vertical, no matter what so I have to literally be the expert in everything.
Okay.
Right? Because I could be working with a shoe shiner. I could be working with a car salesman. I could be working with, a healthcare institution, whatever the case may be. So I have to be the expert in those fields. So that company is probably one of my most challenging companies, but I love it the most because I get to do something that I absolutely love and that I'm absolutely passionate about, and that's helping to put our people in a better position.
Okay.
Marketing is the one thing that sets us apart from our competition. That's literally the only thing. How we market our companies, how we brand our companies are the truly the only couple of things that are going to set us apart. So I do it with passion. I do it with love. That is my baby. I love Boost 360. My other company is At Your Care Home Services. It's a consumer directed services company. That company was also birthed a few years back. My wife primarily, she does a lot of the hands-on things. I'm more background operational. So that company is something that I felt we needed. I think when you look at the home healthcare industry, a lot of people think that it's so oversaturated. I don't believe that it is. I believe that you can find several people who do it very well. And we just want to be one of those people who do it very well. We want to be, we have different events for our clients. We go to their homes and we teach them how to make healthy meals. We teach them how to make smoothies and stuff. I just recently partnered with actually one of my clients, Leah Michelle, Growing Food, Growing People. So coming up here shortly, we'll be providing free food to our clients as well at Your Care Home Services. So I do things completely different.
Okay.
We have to do things completely different. So now the fourth company is called R. Luella Investments, and it's going to be a real estate investment firm. That company is still in production. But R. Luella is my grandmother's name. Her name is Rachel Luella Ely.
Okay.
So yeah, that's going to be more of a family business. It's actually a family LLC, and we could talk a little bit more about that later. But every family needs a family LLC.
Okay.
So this company, I expect for it to be, a 7-figure company in no time. So
Wow.
So that's my fourth business, and then of course, I do a lot of different things within the community. But those are my for-profit companies.
Okay. So a question about the home health care. So do you have people that you actually have to go out to the clients' homes and things like that? Now, is it also one of those companies where someone could sign up and take care of their own family member as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's the consumer directed services part of it.
Okay.
So anybody, like, say for instance, if you had an aunt who needed, she was elderly, a lot of people, they get Medicaid. Some customers are private pay. It really just depends on their situation. But we want to be able to provide services to you no matter what your situation is. But yeah, so say for instance, you had an aunt, you can work for her. You can get paid. Our pay is competitive. So yeah, that's kind of how that works.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, that was something that I was curious about, because I see a lot of those home healthcare businesses in the industry going towards, letting people take care of their own. I think that's awesome. Take care of their own relatives and things like that. So awesome.
What it does is it gives the consumer, the client, a sense of ownership. A sense of them being able to really lead their own care. They're able to say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. You do the job, I'll keep you. You don't do the job, we're gonna let you go. So it gives the seniors or whomever an ownership feeling. So
as well it should be. Yeah,
that's what I love about it.
Okay, great. That's awesome, man. You have so many things going on. It really is amazing. Like, when I was just reading up on you and all of that, I had no idea. I knew you did a lot of things, but I just had no idea to what extent. I was like, we're gonna have to have him come on like more than once just to cover everything, because it's a lot.
I will.
So, definitely. So on that note, I want you to also tell us about Mentor STL.
Yes. So Mentor STL was actually birthed. It's a long history, right? So we started out as a company called back in 2011 called Out Loud. It was a friend and myself. We started mentoring young kids. We've even gone into different high schools and worked with kids in the high schools. We adopted families for the holidays. We made sure that a big thing for me is making sure that all kids feel equal, right? We don't want any child to ever feel left out or left behind in any kind of way. So we went into our own pockets. Everything that we've always done have been self-funded. We have never, raise money or anything like that. Everything is self-funded now. We should have been raising money, but that lets you know how passionate we have been about it. Mm-hmm. So what happened was back in, I think, 2015, my friend went on to start her own company, which she's doing amazing. I've actually done work with her as well. Pamela Davis, she's done wonderful. Her company is called Queen of Resilience and King of Resilience. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but she actually does events and she does different engagements for the youth within the community as well. She's partnered with Hair Stowe and Upward Bound and all of these different organizations. So she's gone on to do well. I now own Mentor STL, which I still do a lot of the same things that I've been doing. One component that I've added to Mentor STL is a scholarship component. So every year I choose a few kids and I give them scholarships for high school, for college. Mm-hmm. So, you have to, of course, you have to fill out, you got to tell me why you want it, right? Why do you deserve it more than other kids deserve it? And that kind of gives them, I guess a sense of, maybe a sense of earning it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that I do. That's something that I'm passionate about. I'll never stop doing it. One big thing for me is mentorship. That's so big for me because there's so many of us, kids who look like me, who are lost. And I was one of them at some point, I had a pretty good upbringing, but at the same time, I grew up in the streets to where, I got off into some things that I shouldn't have been off into. Mm-hmm. So I think that if we had more men in the community to help steer kids in the right directions, then we will, I think things will be a lot different for us as a community and as a people.
I agree.
So I know that's a mouthful, but that's all that we've done so far. And I'm working on, I'm gonna tell you something. COVID happened. Uh-huh. I was working on the Boss Academy, the Young Boss Academy, right? Xolani know all about it because he was going to be my sound guy for the event. Mm-hmm. And my feelings was hurt because, we had sold probably, of course, the kids' tickets were free. The adults' tickets were like $15, something small, but enough to cover their food and all of that. Mm-hmm. And we had sold almost 90 tickets, right? And you can't even imagine like the free tickets so we had to refund all of that. So hopefully 2021 will be our year to be able to do that. I don't feel safe doing it later on in the year. I just want to get COVID behind us. Mm-hmm. But that's going to be my next huge event for Mentor STL.
Sounds good. I can't wait.
I can't wait. It's going to be lit.
And I'm definitely down to, of course, volunteer my services for that as well. And any other way that I can help Mentor STL, I'm super down for it.
I appreciate you. Yeah, Xolani came all the way from you guys' home out to my office in Creve Coeur, which is like 5 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he was dedicated. I appreciate it. So many people stepped in and stepped up. So I hate that I had to cancel it, but it's popping off. So just wait on it. It's coming.
I believe it's coming. Yeah. Do you take on other like new mentors or young men that want to get off into mentoring?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So any kid you guys feel like, will need our assistance, I work with a couple of other young men, who's actually going to be providing their services as well and their leadership and guidance. So, please send them to me. Send them to us.
Okay. I think I know a couple.
Yeah, please send them to us.
Yeah. We were talking before, I got a little brother who I think would definitely fit the bill to get off into something like that. So yeah.
Let's go.
All right. I know Xolani is he's done some mentoring as well too in his past.
Yeah. That's one lesson that I was taught was to give back. And it's one of the best ways you can give back. And kind of like you, in different ways, I started off mentoring at 19. So I was mentoring kids that really wasn't that much younger than me.
Yeah. See, See, same thing with me. I have some men that I mentor, you know, and, you know, Xolani and I, we're about the same age. So, you know, they're grown men that I also mentor. So you're never too old or too young to have someone take you under their wing and show you the possibilities of life, you know, things that you want to do, things that you don't feel like you can get to. I've gotten to it, so I can bring you along with me, you know.
For everybody that's listening, I will gladly be a mentee of Dre's.
Right.
As a grown man and someone who's slightly older than him, I will gladly be a mentor. Because it's a lot of things that he's been presenting, especially on his social media, where it inspired and motivated me to do things like getting into investing and saving money and that type of thing. I didn't really know much about it until you started posting a lot about it. And I was like, you know what? I need to get up in that. And now I've started on, of course, as I mentioned on the last episode with Acorns app, and now we're transitioning into working more with our financial advisor.
Good, man. Good. Well, listen, anytime I can help or be of assistance, you already know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
You already know what to do. Hit me up.
You're going to get some phone calls from us, don't worry.
Please call me.
Hey, man.
Yeah, definitely. So with all of these credentials that you've had, I guess one could say that you're actually, you know, a professional entrepreneur. And I feel like you got the game and gone with it, you know. So, and that's now, but was there ever a time in the past where you just absolutely had no idea of what you were doing or how to get started?
Was there? Man. So I'm gonna tell you something. When I was in my undergrad, I switched my major so many times, Koko. You have no idea. Like I went from first I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I'm like, I want to be, you know, some kind of doctor or something like that. Well, I quickly changed that.
Okay.
Which I respect what they do. I love it, but it's way too much schooling for me. I'm like, Lord, geez, I'm gonna be in school until I'm 40. So,
it's funny that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's funny that you said that, because I was when I was a kid, it was the same thing. It was like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. And then it's like, oh, you got to go to school. How long? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
What else can I do?
Exactly. And, you know, so I started off there. I was like, yeah, I want to be a doctor. Mm-hmm. Changed that. I said then I wanted to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. I changed my major to education. Mm-hmm. Then I changed my major again to mental health care, human behavior. I was actually in that path, on that path for a while, for a couple of years, and I loved it. But then I got to the point where I was like, you know, I'm going through so much right now mentally. How can I be of guidance or of assistance to someone else who may be going through something that they really need to get out from under? Mm-hmm. At that time, I didn't feel like I was in a position to be able to do that. So I changed my major again. So I'm telling you, there was a time where I just really felt like, you know, 10 years ago, I was like, man, what do I really want to do? I had no idea. You know, I worked, I went to school. Education was definitely priority for me. Having money in my pocket was priority for me as well. I did work in real estate for a little while, so I had that background as well. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I was completely confused.
Okay.
So anybody out there who's completely confused, it is really normal. It's normal because especially as Black men, our role is to provide, to be the head, to, you know, so that's a lot of pressure in itself.
Yeah. And
even when I was single, it's still like, okay, I was dating. So it's like, hey, you know, she's going to want certain things. I'm going to want certain things for her. You know, eventually, you know, I'll get to the place in my life where I want to be a father. I want to be a husband. So it was a lot of pressure for me. As Black men, we have to exceed and excel way higher than other people because that's what's expected of us. No, I'm sorry. What's expected of us is for us to fail. So we have to do the opposite, right? So I had that constantly driving me crazy, thinking about that. But yeah, to answer your question, a brother was confused. Yeah.
Well, it seems like you got it all together now.
I figured it out. I figured it out.
That's good. So you mentioned, and I'm glad you said that, segueing into the next question. You mentioned, being a husband and being a father. So with all of these responsibilities that you have and your broad array of career paths that you have, is it hard balancing family life and with your career?
It's honestly not for me.
Okay.
So now something has to lack somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into what's lacking in a minute.
Okay.
But to answer your question, balancing work and family is not difficult.
Okay.
I make like Friday, I took the whole day. I pushed meetings up to Monday. I took the whole day. I reserve the right to be able to do that. Number one, I'm the boss, I set my own time. So I would literally take off if I need to. I would literally do anything I need to do to make sure that my wife and my kids don't feel like daddy's not around or don't feel like my husband isn't around. I never want them to feel that way. So I do whatever I have to do. I mean, and as far as now, my son, he will say, some nights I'll be working until midnight. He'd be like, finally, you put the computer down, stuff like that. And I'm like, man, if I was traveling, because at one point in time, I traveled every week. And I just had to stop because I'm like, I cannot leave them. I cannot be an absent father. Because even though I'm here and I'm providing, if they don't feel my presence, then they'll grow up feeling like I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I'm very adamant about having that balance. Now, one thing that is lacking is self-care. That's one thing that's lacking.
I was going to actually ask that question about self-care. So speaking of which, so in self-care, what's your daily process as far as self-care or weekly process, or whenever you have a self-care time set aside, what does that look like for you?
So it's pretty pathetic. So I've set up a gym in my home so that I don't have to leave and go to the gym.
Because that's awesome.
I'm but I still don't get to use my equipment as much. I still don't, we've spent good money on stuff that is just kind of sitting there because I do work a lot. So I don't really have a good balance as far as, work, family, and self-care. I don't have a good balance. Now, before quarantine, every month I would go and get a nice massage. That took me about an hour to do. Every now and then I may go to the mall, get myself something nice or something like that. But how self-care, how I would like for it to look, it don't look. It don't look the way I would like for it to look.
And it generally it doesn't, but I think that, and it's just some advice to you. Self-care can be anything. It could be just taking, 10 minutes off to yourself without anybody, without your spouse, without your kids, and just, grabbing that time to close your eyes and relax, clear your mind a little bit, not, think about anything that you have to do or anybody that you have to do something for. We can simplify it a little bit. I know it sounds good a lot to say, okay, I'm gonna go get a massage, which that's good. You should definitely do. I was a massage therapist at one time. It was one of my other things that I did also. Things. Yeah. But I definitely have no problem with that, go do that. But even if you don't have time to take that hour out and go get that massage, sometimes you can just, sit on the couch or lay in your bed and just close your eyes for a second and gather your thoughts and, just think about nothing.
You're right. And I'm gonna tell you, Koko, that's 100% accurate. And when I try to do that, I feel so guilty. So I have to take your advice. I have to just take your advice and just do it.
I got to take my own advice sometimes because I don't do that.
We got to take our advice.
I don't do that enough while I'm telling you to do it. But yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. And I promise you that I'm going to work on that.
Okay, good. I'm going to be checking on you too. You did that self-care yet?
Hold me accountable.
I will. I'm going to hold myself accountable too. And Xolani as well. Yeah. So, okay. So one thing that I couldn't wait to touch on is your philanthropy endeavors. Cause myself, I was like, when I definitely didn't know that about you at all. And I'm like, I've never sat down and like actually chopped it up with a real life Philanthropist. So
Yes,
I want you to tell us all about that and how did that come about? You know, what made you want to start doing that?
absolutely. So I feel like, especially in our community, we didn't have enough representation in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people who would call themselves philanthropists, who may, give a little bit here or there.
Mm-hmm.
But, my wife and I, we're very serious about it.
Okay.
Me more so than her, because she's kind of had to grow into it. So my various companies and myself personally would give money to a lot of different causes and a lot of different organizations.
Okay.
One organization that and I probably shouldn't speak on all. I don't know if I can or not, but I know that that they wouldn't mind. One organization that we give a lot of money to, we donate a lot of money to, is Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
We donate a lot of money to the different hospitals. We donate a lot of money to the kids' cancer. What is it? Jesus Christ, they're gonna kill me.
St. Jude.
St. Jude's. We give a lot of money to St. Jude's. We've been their caterer of the month, several times. We literally will give all of our proceeds that we make that month to them. So philanthropy is vast for us, because we, 1 month we could give $2,000. On another month we could give, $4,000 or $5,000. It really just depends on the cause and what's needed. Mm-hmm. I've gone to, different various fundraisers just to give money, just to support the cause. I think that at this juncture right now, and I'm excited about one thing that I'm going into, it's called Humanity in the Middle. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine, I don't know if you guys know Clay Farmer, Captain Clay Farmer. It's one of his companies. Okay. Yeah. So he's the head of security for Wesley Bell. So he is actually, he has a company called Humanity in the Middle. So I'm super excited to join this company, because this is going to be so basically I'm gonna give you a quick synopsis because I'm that excited about it. Okay. We'll be able to actually continue their efforts that they've started with taking kids on trips, really showing kids that you can be whatever you want to be, whatever the amount of money is going to take to make these things happen. We're just going to make it happen. That is the part about me that a lot of people don't get to see, because I don't post too much about that. Okay. I'm not saying that I shouldn't. I just don't. But philanthropy is very important. I mean, it's something that we all need to do.
Yeah.
We all need to do it. So stay tuned on more to come from Mentor SCL and Humanity in the Middle, because that's going to be another organization I'm going to be heavily and deeply involved in.
That is highly commendable. It really is. Definitely much respect to you for that. What advice would you give to anyone that maybe is looking to become a philanthropist, or someone who wants to, dedicate themselves to giving?
I would say figure out what is most important to you. Mm-hmm. Start there.
Okay.
For me, it was children. So that's where I started, because that is what was most important to me. Figure out what's most important and start there. Okay. You can sacrifice. We are okay with sacrificing some of the things that we want for the betterment of someone else. Okay. So that would be my advice. Start there. Start with something that you know that you're passionate about, something that that change needs to be effectuated in this area, and start making your mark in that area.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So going back to talking about marketing, because I want to get into that, because that is definitely, I think, with even with the things that I'm trying to develop, and marketing is probably not one of my my strong points. Yeah. So what advice would you what in your experience, what's the biggest mistake that you think that most new businesses make when it's comes to their marketing strategies?
The biggest mistake that I know they make is only marketing on social media. Okay. One thing about that, social media is a pay to play atmosphere now.
Right.
So not only do you need to be, if you're going to be marketing your company on social media, not only do you need to be buying ads, you need to be targeting the right people, targeting the right demographics. And with all of the algorithm changes that Facebook continue to make, Instagram, Twitter, with all of those algorithm changes, you have to know what you're doing, or you have to hire someone to do it for you. I think that that's the biggest mistake that we make, though, only because when you post, when you go and you create this awesome looking, you know, graphic, and you post it on social media, and only 5 to 10% of your people see it.
Yep.
You just wasted an hour and a half, 2 hours, probably a whole day creating this ad and that no one gets to see. So definitely. I think it really takes, it really takes educating yourself on what it is you're looking to accomplish. And because you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. So posting on social media is effective. It's just not as effective. It's never going to get you to where you need to go. That's one mistake. Okay. Another one that they make is not, I would say, not advertising on Google and purchasing online ads, which we call stalker ads. Those ads that follow you around the internet when you type something into Google or you type something, those are called stalker ads, right? But they're really
you
called,
think.
Right.
You think something in your brain, next thing you know, it shows up on your phone. Like, you're in my mind.
Talking about this an hour ago, and then it pops up on the phone. Yeah.
Right. Those people are doing it the smart way, because that is how you have to do it. I'm telling you, if your business is not on Google, and if you're not purchasing these ads and running ads, it's like an online billboard is how I explained it to my clients. You have the potential to put your business in front of hundreds of thousands of people who's looking for what you do, right? You're not doing that on social media. You're just posting something. You're hoping that people who want it or need it, you know, gets to see it. So those are, I'll say, the two biggest mistakes that I see companies make daily. Every time somebody calls me or I have a consultation, those are the two things that I see the most that has to change immediately.
Gotcha. So how does your company help these businesses to overcome those obstacles?
Absolutely. So we have several packages that we provide for social media management, which encompasses everything you will need to run effective campaigns on social media. That's number one, because like I said, it's all about the demographics. It's all about getting in front of people who actually want it. You can't sell $800 shoes on social media to people who ain't going to spend $50 on a pair of shoes. So it's all about getting in front of the right people. So we target the correct people for you. We create good eye-catching graphics to make sure that, you know, you can lure those people in with the graphics and with a good message, right? So that's one service that we provide. Additionally, we have what's called our digital display ad campaigns that we run for clients as well. Those are those stalker ads, okay? We provide that service to our clients, and we have some of the best, I mean, the people who we work with, the companies who we work with are like the best in the business. They're your companies that your, you know, Fortune 500 companies use, you know. So we make sure that our clients are able to get the same service for a fraction of the cost.
Sounds good. I'm gonna have to take you up on those marketing services. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Because I feel like you just talked all the way to me. Like,
I mean,
yeah, but because we were just having that discussion actually last night, even in regards to marketing and promoting the podcast. And we were talking about how 10 years ago, Facebook was completely different. Like, I could have a fan page, because they were called fan pages back then, and whatever I posted on there went around the world. Like, I had fan bases in other countries just merely making posts, listening, you know, people listening to my mixes. And then once Facebook was preparing to go public, that's when, you know, you started noticing changes, and it's like, okay, I don't get any interaction from the like pages anymore. Like, nobody's interacting there. You post a YouTube clip or an outside link and nobody's going to see it.
Right.
Nobody. And that's why, because they change the algorithm so frequently to where it's hard to keep up. If it's hard for a marketing company like us to keep up, it's going to be 10 times harder for the end user to keep up if they're trying to do it on their own.
Mm.
I'll say this before I could talk about marketing all day. Yeah, I shouldn't have brought this up. I'm just kidding.
I told you we're gonna have to have you come back just for each individual business. We're gonna have to have a show.
For real. But one more thing that I will add about marketing is please get you some SEO. You need SEO, which is search engine optimization. You need SEM. If you are a client that services large industries, you need SEM, search engine marketing, which is PPC, pay per click. That's when you pay for those keywords on Google. People type them in. If they click them, your business is coming up above the fold every time. You want to be number 1, 2, or 3 every time. That costs money.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to do it. A lot of people, I explain to my clients, you're going to have to take money from your shoe money and your shopping money and put it towards your business.
Say that one more time.
Take money
for the
from
people
your
in
shoe,
the back.
That's right. From your shoe money, your shopping money, your car money, all of that. If I had to do it, I had to do it. Y'all know I love a nice car. I love a nice pair of shoes. I like everything nice. But I had to just take my mind away from that for a while and focus on what was going to make me money. So I urge everybody to do that. I see a lot of people make mistakes in that area. It can be fixed, right? Ignorance can always be fixed. You don't have to know everything.
Right.
Okay. It's your willingness to learn is what's going to catapult you. So, that's something that, we have to do better as Black owned companies. We need to be able to compete in these spaces, and we cannot compete if we don't have the capital to do it.
Preach. Definitely. Well, I want to get a little personal here. So with all of these projects and career moves that you have going on, what keeps you motivated?
Oh man, that's easy, Koko. My family. My family keeps me being able to see the smile on their faces every time, I walk in the door, or have them to just be proud of the fact that my daddy is a boss. My son says that all the time. The other day, he was like, you're a boss, but I can also see you as like a fashion guy, like a fashion designer. Yeah.
Look at it. He's trying to add you one more business on.
Man, I can't take no more. but
sure you can.
I can if I really focused on it. But that is my driving force. My family is my driving force. I'm telling you, I'm so passionate about family. My mom knowing that she has everything that she needs, things that she wants. A few years ago, I was able to, buy her whole new bedroom set,
Wow.
new TV, everything she wanted, So, being able to provide certain things, but it's not just about what you can buy someone. It's about knowing that they can look to you as a person who's going to do the right thing, as a person who's going to have their back, as an upstanding man, upstanding Black man. So that's my number. I'm telling you, those are my driving forces. Absolutely.
That was the perfect answer. Perfect answer.
Thank you.
So I did see a quote that you posted on Facebook probably earlier in the week. You said the goal is not to support your lifestyle, but to have your lifestyle support you. Change your mindset, change your work ethic, and change your circle. Yes. So can you expound on that and tell us what you meant by that?
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of just goes back to what I just talked about, about, putting your businesses in a place where, you're able to actually not have to take care of your businesses, but have your businesses take care of you. It's not going to happen if you're misappropriating funds. If you're getting money from different streams and you're blowing it all. If you're not putting at least 30% of what you make back into your businesses will never be able to support you. Okay. If you're not investing money, see, the thing about it is that, a lot of us, we don't know much about investing, and that's okay. But, like Xolani said, he want to learn about it. We have to be open to learn about these things so that we can put ourselves in a place to where we can literally let our business take care of us. We don't have to take care of it every day. We don't have to be there every day. We don't have to spend our last dime because, you know, something went out at the office or we had a client fall out and, you know, now what we going to do because we just lost a $5,000 a month client, you know, things like that. So I would say it's all about your business practices, your procedures, and appropriating your funds to the right places. When you make money, you have to be able to put it in places that's going to continue to make you money. That's number one.
Got to allocate those funds like D-Lay said.
Oh,
allocate those funds properly. Absolutely. You know, and it real quick, it took me back because when I first started the Gold Plate Catering, I was spending about $700 to $800 a month on Google AdWords. But guess what that did for me? That was getting me $5,000 to $6,000 clients. You know, so you have to spend the money to make money. I keep trying to tell people, I really want everyone to be able to conceptualize that. You have to spend it to make it. The second part of my quote, change your mindset, change your work ethic, change your circle. Listen, if I was still dealing with some of the people I was dealing with, you know, even 5 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am. If I was okay. Now, I love you have to be able to work for someone to get to where you want to be able to get that business ownership that you want, right? So you have to be able to do it. But if I was okay with just, you know, going to my 9 to 5, half-ass working, you know, because I was doing that at some point. At some point, I got so tired of dealing with these people that I was like, I'm going to show up. And whatever I do, whatever I don't do, it won't get done. I had to change my way of thinking. I had to go in there and be my best because that's the only way I was going to get out. That's the only way I was going to get out. I knew a long time ago that I was not the type of person that was meant to work for a Fortune 500 company or anybody for that matter. I knew a long time ago. I knew. Now, some people, I don't ever want to be, I don't want to even come across as the kind of person that will tell people you need to be a business owner. Right. Everybody's not cut out for that.
I agree.
Right. But those of us who want to be, you have to perfect what you're doing now. You have to be your best so that you can make the money to get up out of there. If you have a company, if you have a position where you're able to bonus, you want to bonus out, you want to windfall every month. I was windfalling. Do you hear me? I wasn't playing. I was the best. I was the best in my company. And I meant to be the best in my company. So you have to change your work ethic, change your mindset, and we already know how that circle go.
Yeah.
We already know.
That was a hard lesson that we had to learn. But it's definitely true. Definitely.
People who are around you, the people who are around you, they're doing one of two things. They are pushing you or they are hindering you. One of two things. God gave me enough wisdom to be able to see the people who were hindering me, the people who didn't want to see me do better. He gave me that wisdom. Gave me that wisdom. So you got to be able to see it. Fall on your face and pray every day if you have to, because there's people in our lives who hold us back.
That is very true. Whether it be friends, so-called friends, associates, family members, even. Yes.
100%.
Definitely agree.
What were you getting ready to say, Xolani? I cut you off, my bad.
Oh, no, it's all good. We interviewing you. I was going to speak on even just that mindset of when you are working a regular job, you going to work every day, and kind of like you said, a lot of people go in, and even, you mentioned yourself how it's just like, look here, I'm just whatever's going to get done is going to get done. Maybe not, because you're going to get paid anyway. But when it comes to being an entrepreneur, it don't work out that way. You gotta put in that work. So the best way to start is while you're still working at your regular job. Make sure you are showing your value. You show your value there, then you know how to show your value when you are the company.
Don't just show out.
Like I remember with my last job and being in the training there, and there was some other people in the training, and I saw the difference in the mindset. My mindset was, do this enough to be able to leave it in a way to where I'm building my own brand and business after that. So 2 years later, that's what's happened. But some other people's mindset was, okay, what happens if you don't pass this test, and, what's the minimum score and this and that. I'm like, and then those people, they didn't last there long. And not that the goal was to last at the company long, but they had a defeatist mindset. It was, okay, what happens if you fail? What happens if you get this low score? And I was like, what happens if you get the best score?
Right.
So
change your mindset.
I was getting the best scores and the best performance effortlessly.
Yeah.
Until, then it became, I outgrew it and it was time to go. But that was the plan.
And you know what? And I'll share before we go to our next line of questioning, because I think the fun part is coming. But
it is.
I'll share this. And I tell a lot of people this, I was the chief marketing officer for a company. And it was not too far from my house. And, it was the perfect setup. I could wake up, shave, bathe, do my thing, take me 30 minutes, go to work, didn't have to dress up. It was the perfect setup, right? Mm-hmm. Making good money. It was wonderful. I don't think I ever felt as small in my life as I did working for that company. Because I was working under people. The ownership was they were very racist, right? And they wanted to son me. They wanted me to kind of, in quote unquote, stay in my place, right? But when you hire me to do a job, you can't tell me how to do it because you've had no training on that job, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to listen to you when I know that this is my field and you know nothing about it. Mm-hmm. When I say they berated me and railroad me until I just had to leave.
Wow.
I left that company. I didn't have anything lined up. I spent $12,000 of my, money savings, providing for myself for the next, couple of months, because at that juncture, my businesses weren't doing what I wanted them to do. Mm-hmm. So I had to, make sure that I was able to compensate. Not compensate, the word I'm trying to use, but I had to make sure that I was able to keep things afloat. I walked away because there was no way I was going to allow someone to treat me that way. Mm. The first 3 months of me being with that company, I raised their bottom line 63%. Mm. I secured partnerships and I secured clients that they have been seeking for 5 years.
Wow.
Okay. This black boy did that, right? Y'all wasn't able to do it. Mm. So I urge people to never be in a situation where you feel less than. Mm. Because any room I walk in, I stand tall. Mm. And I'll never let anybody knock me down from that. That's right. So there are people who's listening, or who will hear us play this back later or whatever the case may be. And, they are probably feeling the same way on the job that they're on. But I'm telling you, you have to come to a place to where you understand that your respect is paramount than anything else, over anything else.
I've been there before, so I know exactly what you're talking about. More than once.
Now, this marketing company that you speak of, is that the one I know about?
It's not, man, it's not that one. See, that one, I was actually a partner with them. So I didn't actually work for that company. I'll never do that again. That was horrible. I'll never do it again. But no, just stay away from them. That's all I have to say.
Trust me, I am. And not even to go fully into that, but basically this was right before Dre left that company and, went full on with 360. I was basically, what were we doing? We were doing some inquiring and consultation. Yeah. And once you left, man, they hounded and they were just trying to get me in. I'm like, wait, does Dre know about this? Like, they're trying to get the business that he pulled in.
Yep. That's how they move. That's how they move, man. So, that I can't be a part of things like that. Can't be a part of organizations like that, So I feel better. I'm able to sleep better at night, knowing that I'm able to take care of my clients knowing that they can come to me when they have issues, and knowing that no one else is going to be poaching my clients from the inside of my company, because I'll get rid of you.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I definitely know that from with the in a DJ business, dealing with same kind of thing, partnering with other companies or even just subcontracting for them and bringing what I bring to the table. It ends up being a thing of where you built them up in an area that they didn't touch. And next thing you know, they're doing that and they're taking credit for it. And, you know, $10,000, $15,000 per gig.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
you know, I know that kind of thing. And I've actually spoken with some other companies and they flat out said, like, look, you are like experienced enough to be doing this on your own. You don't need to be subcontracting with any other companies because you're doing the same thing.
You're doing the same thing and probably doing it better. So, yeah.
Well, it looks like everything happens for a reason. So, you know, with that experience, you know, came the subsequent business that you call your baby now. so it all worked out the way that it was supposed to. So we're happy for you on that. And like I said, we're going to definitely be looking forward to working with you on some things and
I look forward to it
a little bit. So I do want to get on to the fun part, as you called it.
Right.
So we do have a new fun segment on the show where we're just gonna throw some questions out at you just to get a reaction and see where your head is at. And
let's go.
Xolani's gonna host that portion of the show, and we call it This or That. So we're just going to ask you a train of questions, a line of questions, and you just, as quickly as you can, just let us know which one you prefer. So whenever you're ready, roll it out.
All right. And I'm just freestyling too. So if it sounds weird, then
I might throw some
weird.
in there too. I'm sorry.
All right. Go with some obvious ones or some easy ones. Apple or Android? Apple. All right. Why?
You know what? They're just smoother. I mean, they're simple, they're smooth. I like them better. All
right, this next one is going to be a multiple one. Popeyes, Church's, KFC, or Lee's?
Popeyes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my favorite too.
Look, give me Popeyes with Church's biscuits. Like out.
You know what? Church's biscuits are okay. Popeye's biscuits may kill you. It just depends on, you know.
I mean, they still good though. Like,
right.
I feel like Church's, you got to catch them on a good day.
True.
With their biscuits.
True, because sometimes they may be hard.
Yeah, they seem like they redid them or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to throw them hockey pucks back in the window.
Right.
Hey, these tasty hockey pucks.
Keep that.
All right. So, let's see. I know you, like you say, you're big into vehicles. Pickup truck or SUV?
SUV.
That's my style.
Yeah.
Let's see.
My favorite one was Tony Braxton or Halle Berry.
Tony Braxton, baby. I was hoping you asked me that. I love Tony. I always have. Literally, when I was a kid, I used to ask my mama for her albums. She was so fine to me. Yes. Yeah. Tony Braxton.
I asked Xolani, tell me your answer that you had.
Halle Braxton.
Both.
I said Halle Braxton.
I mean, you go back to 93. They had the same haircut and style and everything. Yeah, Halle
Very
Braxton.
true.
Halle
Very
Braxton.
true.
All right. I got one. Michael Jackson or Prince?
Oh,
Michael Jackson.
All right.
I would go with Michael anyway. Michael was like my first favorite musician ever.
Yeah.
Soul food or Mexican?
Soul food.
That's a given.
All right. No, go ahead.
Something funny though.
I
don't like either one that much.
Okay. So what's your favorite?
My favorite food would probably be Chinese food, but I cook it myself.
You got some good fried rice?
Excellent fried rice.
All right.
All of that good stuff. I mean, that's kind of my favorite food. I mean, it's kind of weird that I don't like soul food that much. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I don't like it that much. And I definitely don't like Mexican. Like, ugh, nah.
Why do I feel like we're going to be giving Dre a lot of money? Because like we need some of his food, we need some marketing advice, just all kind of stuff.
Well, we're going to give him money so he helps our money grow.
So yeah, he's going to help us with our money.
There you go.
Speaking of money growing, one more Robin Hood or Acorns.
That's a good
Robin
one.
Hood. Robin Hood.
Why is that?
You know, I haven't gotten too much into Acorns. I know I have a couple of friends who use Acorns.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like Robinhood because it's so simple. Mm-hmm. They've simplified the process so much, and it could be the same with Acorns. I've only seen the interface a little bit. I haven't really used it that much. But yeah, Robinhood is just simple for me. I mean, I go in, I load my money, and I buy whatever I want to buy.
All right. So since we're talking about money, easy. I got one more.
Mm-hmm.
Gold, silver, or cash?
Oh, that's a hard one. It's between gold and cash, though.
Okay.
Dang. That's the only one because gold is, I mean, it's worth a lot. I mean, I would say gold. Give me gold and I can flip it.
Gold. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
give me
good.
Gold. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time, I do have one more question for you.
Yes.
And basically just want to know, where can anyone find you if they would like to, for one, have a caterer, or if they are interested in some marketing assistance, or if they are interested in being mentored or getting into mentorship, or if they are, which one did I leave out? If they have a family member that they, would like to inquire about services for.
Yeah. So on IG, Instagram, you can find us Boost360 at Boost360 STL. Mm-hmm. You can reach out to me that way. We also have our website, email address is real simple, boost360.net. And you can get in touch with us that way. We also have our IG for the Gold Plate is the Gold Plate St. Louis. Mm-hmm. What else? We have our IG for At Your Care is At Your Care Home Services.
Okay.
That's on IG. The same on Facebook. So, you guys can get in touch with us that way. We have websites for each company. Mm-hmm. So if you Google At Your Care or Boost 360 or the Gold Plate, you can find us that way as well.
All right. And then we're also going to post up that information on the YouTube link as well.
Okay.
All right.
All right. It has been such a pleasure. And again, we're going to definitely have to have you back to, just further expound on, some of the things that we talked about, because with everything that you do, we couldn't possibly get to it all in one session. So we're definitely going to have you back, and you will be hearing from us. I'm going to order some seafood mac and cheese.
Please do.
Like ASAP.
You love it. Trust me.
I believe you. I seen the pictures of your food, so I am not, I know you're not lying about that. So again, we appreciate you for taking out time with us again today. Is there any last words that you want to say, Xolani?
We definitely gonna be your client in a number of different things.
Let's go.
So
let's go. Let's get this
other
money.
than that, stay on the line. We'll chat a little bit once we end the live stream here. Okay. Anybody that's still watching, give this live stream a share once it is posted as a video as well, and hit like, share it on all your platforms, tag people. Somebody that want to learn about some of this stuff, tag them, bring them on.
And bring them on. Also the YouTube channel, which is Free Your Mind, and the rest will follow also. We will be not only doing podcasts, but in the next couple of weeks, we will start doing some videos as well, some vlogs and things like that. So just be looking out for that. Facebook, YouTube, and we'll have our Instagram up soon as well. So yeah. That's about it. So we appreciate everybody no problem. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Once again, we are speaking today with LeeAndre Ratliff, and thank you again, and peace out to everybody who is listening.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Peace.